That's a pale piranha. You know about these guys. The famous piranha plants. This colorless subspecies is adapted to boggly woods. Ah, the wonders of nature. Max HP is 4, attack is 2, and defense is 0. If you try to jump on them, they'll totally chomp on you. That's a putrid piranha. It's a poisonous piranha plant. That color is totally sickly. Max HP is 8, attack is 3, and defense is 0. It bites and it attacks with super rank poison breath. Breath mint table 4. If you get poisoned, your HP will slowly go down, so, try not to. That's a frost piranha. It's a cool customer with strong ice powers. Max HP is 10, attack is 5 and defense is 0. Its biting attack sometimes freezes us, so try to immobilize it first. It's weak against fire attacks, too, so use them as well. That's a piranha plant. In fact, I think this is the strongest type of them all. Max HP is 15, attack is 9 and defense is 0. Its attack power is absurdly high. It may look like a normal piranha plant, but don't be fooled. It's super tough. If we get beaten by a flower, we'll never hear the end of it, know what I mean? That's a crazy daisy. It may look totally cute, but it's a serious foe. Max HP is 7, attack is 2, and defense is 0. What you gotta worry about is its lullaby. That tune will totally zonk you out. If you manage to guard well, though, you might not pass out. Try to learn the timing. Oh, and when its HP runs low, it runs away, so try to KO it in one fell swoop. That's an amazing daisy. This mystical daisy is like the rarest thing ever. Max HP is 20, attack is 20, and defense is 1. Since it has such high HP and runs away really quickly, it's almost impossible to beat. Plus, its lullaby has massive attack power, so if we're low on HP, we need to scram. You gotta think hard about whether to fight or bolt. That's a piter. Ick. They gross me out. Max HP is 5, attack is 2, and defense is 0. EWWWWWWWW. Besides its normal attacks, it might spit 3 web wads at you consecutively. You'd better have good timing if you want to guard against its attacks. It also says here that the punies can't stand piters, so I'm not the only one. Just the sight of these things makes punies flee in terror. I know how they feel. That's an tarantula. It's a spider-like creature that lives deep underground. Max HP is 16, attack is 7, and defense is 0. Yeah, it's pretty tough. It'll spit web wads at you. Sometimes it even attacks several times in a row. That coloring freaks me out. I'm kinda scared of spiders. So let's do this quickly. That's a swooper. I bet they call it that 'cause of the way it swoops around. Wow, that's some awesome naming work. Seriously, it's pure naming genius. So, anyway, max HP is 6, attack is 3, and defense is 0. Says here it hangs from the ceiling. If you can just damage it, it ought to drop off the ceiling. And then you can whack it. That's a swoopula, an airborne, blood-sucking, bat-like thing. Max HP is 9, attack is 4, and defense is 0. As if losing HP wasn't bad enough, this little creep adds yours to its own. How totally gross. Don't let it bite me, Mario. That's a swampire. It's a feared health sucker that hides in the darkness. Max HP is 20, attack is 6, and defense is 0. It sucks health from its prey to add to its own HP. And that totally degrosses me out like you wouldn't believe. If you let it feast on you, its HP will get really high. Focus your attacks on it. That's a dark puff. It's basically a tiny, mean thunderhead. Max HP is 3, attack is 2, and defense is 0. Sometimes it'll charge itself with electricity. Don't touch it when it does. Youch. You know what I mean, right? Burst. Shocking. After it charges itself, it'll totally zap you with lightning. Beat it as fast as you can. This is a rough puff. Don't confuse them with dark puffs. Although I don't think the world would end if you did confuse them, but anyway. Max HP is 7, attack is 4, and defense is 0. They swoop at you or charge themselves with electricity before unleashing lightning. Oh, and if you touch them while they're charged, you'll get a shock. That's an ice puff. It's a mean snow cloud that appears in cold areas. Max HP is 9, attack is 4, and defense is 0. It swoops down and uses cold breath to attack. Trust me, it's not refreshing. That cold breath can freeze us, so try to avoid it. Also, if we touch it when it's storing cold energy, we'll get hurt. Isn't that super weak? They're vulnerable to fire, so let's try that, maybe. That's a poison puff. Basically just a puff of poisonous air. Max HP is 15, attack is 8, and defense is 0. Its poison gas attack is 10. These things charge you, but they also save up toxins and poison you with them. Scum. Plus, you can't touch them when they're saving up toxins or you'll get hurt. Lame. That's a boo. It's everyone's favorite ghost. Well, most everyone. Max HP is 7, attack is 3, and defense is 0. It's nothing to write home about on the attack side, but it can turn invisible. If it turns invisible, we won't be able to hit it, so beat it while you can see it. Boos are kinda cute, but I sure wouldn't want to meet one in a dark alley. If I ran into one in the bathroom in the middle of the night, well, never you mind what I do. That's an atomic boo. It's a giant boo made up of a ton of smaller boos. Max HP is 40, attack is 4, and defense is 0. This thing will try to smoosh us. It can also split up and send hundreds of boos at us. And when we attack, we might get so scared that we get confused or can't move. I sure wouldn't want to see this thing standing behind me in the middle of the night. Creepy. That's a dark boo. Purple just looks so wrong. These boos are so creepy. Max HP is 8, attack is 5, and defense is 0. Its HP and attack are high, but they're just like ordinary boos otherwise. So, just attack it like a normal boo. Get it before it turns invisible. That's an ember. Sort of a pale blue flame spirit. Kind of spooky. Max HP is 8, attack is 3, and defense is 0. Of course, since this thing is a flame, touching it will hurt. Didn't Mama teach you that? Looks like it's susceptible to ice or explosive attacks though, so that's something. If you get hit by a flame attack, you'll catch fire, so try to guard well. That's a lava bubble. It's a flame spirit. Max HP is 6, attack is 4, and defense is 0. Its HP and attack power may be different from an ember's, but otherwise it's the same. Since it is made of fire, try not to touch cause it'll burn you. Apparently it's vulnerable to explosions and ice attacks. Oh, and if you get hit by a flame attack, you might catch fire, so guard well. That's a phantom ember. It's an angry spirit born of hatred and confusion. So, I'm not too cool with this thing. BBBB Black. Max HP is 10, attack is 5, and defense is 0. If it attacks you with spirit flames, you'll catch on fire. Let's send this ghoul back to the grave, okay? PPPP please. That's a bald cleft. Basically, a rock monster with a swarthy-looking face. This is kind of mean, but bald guys really just don't do it for me. Max HP is 2, attack is 1, and defense is 2. Yeah, this guy is rock solid. Fire doesn't even hurt it. It might be best to attack with, say, a POW block. That's a hyper-bald cleft. Like clefts and bald clefts, this is also a rock monster. Max HP is 3, attack is 2, and defense is 2. This hyper version can build up its energy, boosting its attack to 8 on the next turn. It has low HP, but its body is rock hard and impervious to fire, making it super tough. It says here that item attacks are pretty effective. Beat it before it goes hyper. That's a cleft. A rock head jerk with spikes on his noggin. What a rocker. Max HP is 2, attack is 2, and defense is 2. That hard head is a major pain. Fire doesn't hurt it. But other types of items are pretty effective usually. If nothing seems to work on it, you can always just run. That's an iron cleft. That guy is scary. Period. Max HP is 6, attack is 4, and defense is unknown. What's with this book? It says no attack will work against iron clefts. It says nothing in the world is as hard as an iron cleft, so its defense is impenetrable. If that's true, the only way to beat one is to whack it with the other one. Running away may not be a bad idea at this point. That's an iron cleft. That guy is scary. Period. Max HP is 6, attack is 4, and defense is unknown. What's with this book? It says no attack will work against iron clefts. It says nothing in the world is as hard as an iron cleft, so its defense is impenetrable. If that's true, the only way to beat one is to whack it with the other one. Running away may not be a bad idea at this point. That's a hyper cleft. It's basically a cleft that uses charged up moves. Max HP is 4, attack is 3, and defense is 3. When it charges up, its attack power rises to 9. Couple its rock hardness with its ability to charge up, and things get scary. If you're confident, you may want to try doing super guards to send its attacks back. If you can't, you'd better use some items, or you'd better hightail it out of here. That's a moon cleft. It's your basic cleft living on the moon. Max HP is 6, attack is 5, and defense has 5. Defense is high as usual, and fire attacks don't work against it. If you can turn it over with an explosion, though, its defense goes down to 0. That's a bristle, totally covered in spikes. They're so prickly. Max HP is 2, attack is 1, and defense has 4. And they're impervious to fire. Even trying to get close enough to whack it with a hammer is dangerous. Seriously, its spikes will totally pop out. So, since you can't jump on it or use your hammer, you'd better use an item. That's a dark bristle. It's an ancient creature made of rock. Max HP is 8, attack is 8, and defense has 4. You can't jump on it because of its spikes, and you can't approach due to its spears. And its defense is high. You'd better take it out with special